When I was 15 and living in the Philippines, my father told me that he went to Angeles City to meet up with some friends. He saw sex tourism happening right in front of his eyes. And I remember how I felt in that moment. And I told myself when I was in a position and when I was more educated, I would help the Philippines combat this serious problem.
I'm African American and half Filipino.
I'm Filipino Swedish.
We're happy people. Kahit anong mangyari, we're just smiling.
I am half Filipino and American.
Even though I'm like half, I'm still proud that I'm Pinoy.
They have the biggest hearts and the greatest laughs.
We can assimilate into any culture.
Being Filipino doesn't have a lot to do with where you are. It's something that you take inside. It's a spirit.
I was definitely brought up in an environment where it was the more the merrier, and you be kind and you be warm first and welcoming first.
Isa po sa mga core Filipino values na natutunan ko dito is kapwa-tao.
Filipino woman always rebuilds, picks up, and remains strong. My dad is American. He's Caucasian. So I was born in the United States in the East Coast. I'm a military brat, so I moved around through the United States. My parents also decided to retire to the Philippines when I was 12 years old. So I went to high school in Pangasinan, and then I also did a couple of years of college in Baguio at St. Louis University. And then I moved back to the United States to continue my undergraduate at the University of Texas at Arlington. And then I finished my graduate education at the University of California, San Diego International Affairs, and then I moved out to Washington, D.C. to pursue my career. I do international affairs work, and I'm also the president of the Filipino Young Professionals Organization of Washington, D.C. The main composition of our group is Filipino-American professionals living in the Washington, D.C. metro area. One of the main elements of our programming this year is to help Filipinos succeed in their daily lives. So we've held several professional development workshops for free for the Filipino-American community, including salary negotiation, professional branding. We've also hosted our first ever conference earlier this year in Georgetown University, and our theme was Makaisa, or Unite, to unite the Filipino communities. The environments in the United States and the Philippines are different. I think in the United States, we're brought up to realize that we're in competition with others, that we're in this go-go type of environment, that we have to succeed and beat the competition always. When I moved to the Philippines, I discovered a sense of community and that we're all in this fight together. And every year, the Philippines suffers from natural disaster, but the Filipino woman always rebuilds, picks up, and remains strong. And those important values my grandmother taught to my mother and my mother to me. And as a professional minority working in Washington, D.C., I face those challenges every single day, but I bring Bahanihan with me to the table. The great thing is that in Filipino culture, we take care of everyone. Our lolas and lolos to our apos and our adings all under one roof. And being an American means that you can pursue the American dream and that you have lots of opportunities. I think being a Filipino American means for me that I'm gonna work the hardest that I can to provide for my family, to make sure that they're well taken care of. One thing that I love is that my Filipino values and my American values can converge and I can celebrate both identities. All of us, at least in my community in Washington, D.C., our Filipino story is all very different. But I think if we sit at a table together and we converse and we share what our identities mean to one another, we can move forward as a community and work on issues that affect everyone. I know that I will never be alone in the world. Wherever I go, there will always be a Filipino community. I will always meet someone who's Filipino and someone who can identify being Filipinos. Ako po si Christal, proud to be Pinoy.